Now, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. So let me explain. First off, it's free. I'm not joking, you guys. The Anchor app, it is free to use. Second, there's creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Now that's awesome, isn't it? Third, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, you guys, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and so many more platforms. Fourth, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Now, is that awesome, you guys, or what? That's just terrific. And finally, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So I have another podcast with Anchor, and I'm just loving Anchor so much. I love it. It's so very easy to use, guys. So why don't you download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, you guys, and welcome to the official podcast of Damian Talks Education. So listen up. I am here to talk about all things education on my podcast. So get prepared for some realness and honesty of education as I walk you down through various of topics that's happening in the education world with some amazing guests, to sharing stories relating to education and so much more, because I got you covered with education. So join me on this journey of education with me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Damian Talks Education. And happy Friday. We have already through the end of this week. So give yourself a hands clap, you guys. Give yourself a hands clap. So settle in, you guys. Settle in. Thank you so much for joining me on today. I really do appreciate it. So let's dive into this episode right here, today's show, shall we? Today, you guys, we're going to be giving out advice and tips for your first year of teaching. So teachers, new teachers, potential teachers, please pay attention to this. We got some tips for you guys. I got 6 tips for you guys to give out. I don't know about Andrew, but with me, giving out 6 tips for you guys. So your first, because you guys, this is what the list that I'm going to provide for you guys. This is what I'm going to be pouring into my first year of teaching in a couple more years. So you guys, new teachers out there, please list these down. So your first year of teaching, you already be prepared, you know what's up and ready to go. So let's dive into tip number 1 that I have, which is number 1 is don't be afraid to ask questions. Absolutely. Do not be afraid, new teachers. Do not be afraid to ask questions during your first year of teaching, especially on your first day. If you don't know how, the school operates or, this and that, ask someone, fellow teachers, ask, you guys, okay? Because it to me, it is not going to make you, I don't want to use this word. I can't think of another word, but it's not going to make you a dumb or a bad person. Okay, it is not. If you guys, again, if you are not sure, just ask, because there are Your fellow teachers, your colleagues, your coworkers, they are there to help you. Okay, believe me on that. I know I'm not a teacher just yet, you guys, but I know this. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. So that is tip number one from me. Um, let's move on now to number two that I have on my list is to ignore workplace negativity. Ignore workplace negativity. What do I mean by that, you guys? Well, here's what I mean by this. Let's say, oh gosh, this was just okay. Let's say in the teachers lounge during, let's say during lunchtime when your students are at lunch, and this is where you guys all meet, your fellow teachers, y'all meet, and it's just like this one day, this one teacher is just talking negativity about this particular student, and then all the teachers are agreeing on board with it. With me, you guys, I do not want to be in a room with people who are talking down on students. Let's uplift our students up. Yes, our students, they can be bad, they can be, their behavior all over the place, but let's not talk about them behind their backs. Let's for me, you guys, this is just me. Let's find solutions to the problem. Let's do that. Let's not just talk down on that one particular student, and then you're going to have your other fellow co-workers agreeing on to this one teacher right here. I don't need to be in a room with that, so I'm going to take my lunch and go back to my own classroom and enjoy in peace, okay? Because that right there, especially during my first year of teaching, I don't need that on my plate. Sorry, I do not need that on my plate. Okay, so that's just for me. So that is tip number two for you guys. Going down to number three, and I should have put this as number one because I am big on this, you guys. As you guys know, if you watch The Educators, you guys know I'm big on this, which is to build relationships with your students. Yes, yes. First year teachers, let's build relationships with your students. The beginning of the month, the beginning of the school year, okay? Let's get to know our students. Let's get to know their backgrounds, et cetera, so we know more about them and also more about you as well, as they will get to know you throughout the school year. That's tip number three for me. Number four I have is to have an open mind. Have an open mind. Just like never mind. Have an open mind. Have a positive mindset on your life. I'm getting ready. I'm so pumped, ready to go to work. Don't be all like, I gotta deal with these children again. Should I go into there? Should I call in sick? Don't be that type of person. If you're like that daily on your job, you should not be a teacher in my eye. Because if you are dreading of if you have to go to work, do you have to deal with the children, et cetera, you are not fit to become a teacher. You're not. So think positive. Yes, I'm ready to go to work. Yes, this and that. I know some days, you guys, some days you don't want to go to work. That's normal. That's normal for teachers. That's normal. That's normal. Okay, but let's have a positive and open mindset when we go to work, first year teachers, okay? That was number four. So number five is to don't try to do all the things. During your first year of teaching, new teachers, don't try to, you watch so many, YouTubers, teachers, and, you see online and this and that on social media that all teachers are doing this, and you want to do it as well during your first year of teaching. With me, don't do that. Don't do that because that's going to pile up. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be all over the place. back to recording. Sorry, you guys. The last thing I was talking about is don't try to do all the things during your first year of teaching. Okay. You're gonna have time, you guys, during your second year, third year, et cetera, et cetera. You're gonna have time. Don't try to do all the things during your first year of teaching. I know you're trying to be the best during your first year. Trust me, you're trying to be brilliant, this and that. I get that. I get that. But you will have time throughout the school year, and then also, next year, if you're going to continue on, you will have time. Don't do it during your first year. Okay. And then finally, what I have is to, of course, take time for yourself. Take time for yourself, teachers. Take time for yourself. Okay. You all deserve it. You all need it after a long day of work. You all deserve it. You all deserve it. You work hard. Okay, so the bottom line, you guys, I'm trying to say is to take time for yourself. Take time for yourself because you all deserve it. You all deserve it. You work Monday through Friday, each and every day. You all deserve it. So that is my advice and tips for your first year of teaching. I hope you took notes and get everything down. So thank you guys for joining me on today. Sorry about with Andrew, you guys, with some difficulties. So he will be back soon, you guys. So take care of yourself. Be blessed. And see you guys next time right here on Damian Talks Education. Bye.